And we're live. Welcome back to the New Earth Project live stream. This is our weekly live show. My name is Sunny Threlkeld. I'm the leader of the New Earth Project, and tonight joining me we have Studio Rome and Jake Lowe. So thank you for stopping by and joining us in the space tonight. We're going to be talking about. We're going to be following our series on the Awakening Indicator series, talking about all the different types of awakening indicators that you can experience whenever you're first starting to wake up and go through that experience. And specifically tonight, we're going to be talking about enhanced perception. This is a fun topic. We're going to be talking about all about like synchronicities and all these different clairvoyant stuff and audio clear audience, and just the increase in sensitivity and perception that you get whenever you're going through your awakening journey. And so let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to cover is the number synchronicity. That's one of the first things that's the most common awakening indicator that there is starting to notice and have awareness of repeating patterns and numbers within nature. And usually the most common synchronicities that people see are like 111, 222, 333, 444. They repeating single digit numbers like that. And each of these different numbers, they carry a certain vibration, a certain frequency. And they're representations of alignment. They're messages. They're also called angel numbers. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. And yeah, and it's one of the main indications of awakening. Whenever you start to see that, your awareness is starting to get your awareness is getting more broadened, and you're getting signals and messages from the universe, which is pretty cool. Any of you guys want to go off that?
Well, I got to tell you, for me, numbers was a huge, huge hit for me. I've seen numbers since I was a kid, but when I went through my awakening, they came out like crazy. In fact, I did a little video of numbers when I was going through my awakening. It's over on my YouTube channel, but not just the standard triples and doubles, but like repetitive numbers, just in sequence or out of sequence, but I would see the same numbers over and over again. And that, like you said, Sonny, was one of the first strong of my perception awareness. There were many others, but the numbers were probably the most dominant.
Yeah, they were I'm completely on board with that with you too. Is the numbers were super dominant. Like I've seen 444, like that number specifically has been a staple part of my life, and even like my family going back like generations. Pretty cool. So that's a number that I've just seen my entire life. And then whenever I started to first go through those awakening processes, that's when all these other numbers started coming in. I was like, holy fuck, like it was like super intense. And like it's like every 5 minutes I was seeing like different secret, like a different number. And I was like, whoa.
You see them so often, you don't know what you're actually seeing. And what I suggested, what I ended up doing was just logging them down. Just it's kind of kind of like a small journal. I got a small little notebook, and every time I saw the number, I wrote it down, the date, the time, if it wasn't the time, and what was going through my head, what had just transpired, what I was thinking about, whatever. And then after a week or so, you could flip through the pages like an old cartoon, and you could see the numbers repeating, and you could see the messages repeating. And eventually, the notebook would fill up. I mean, it was getting so much that I would probably see and log 100 numbers in a week. So then,
wow.
at the end of the week, I would look up the dominant numbers, and I would, get my messages and follow my way that way. And that's it was very helpful that way, because when you don't log them, you just see them all the time. You can mark them, think about them, but to log them down really gives you a perspective of how many you see and in the sequence of messages that you do see.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Like writing down the time, the date, and all that stuff. And looking back, I've never heard anybody talk about that before.
Well, when you go through your awakening and you see these sequences and you see these different things that you start to perceive and start, an awareness to, numbers are just one of them. So they're basically, what they were explaining to me is, they're like tickles from your guides. They're messages basically. So to get a better understanding of the message is to just be more aware for and pay more attention to it. What I did was I logged it down, and that to me gave me like a ledger of, a handful of different messages. So you go through different ones, not just the numbers. Feathers, have a feather cross your path, or a penny or a dime. Those are different ones too, right? You ever see those?
Yeah, what's the significance of the penny and the dimes?
That you have guides that are in your path or on your or on your nearby. Like a feathers is supposed to be that you're doing the right thing, and that the guides are close by and protecting you.
Whenever you were writing these synchronicities down, like in your book, whenever you would see them, you'd write down the time, date, whatever. Would you also write down your thoughts, like at the moment that you experience that synchronicity, and your thoughts and feelings? Did you write that down
Absolutely.
as well?
Yeah, because that's key, right?
Mhm.
Because if you're getting a message at a certain time, are you thinking about something? Are you feeling something? Does something just recur in your life? Did you just experience something? Or are you getting that message then? Some people get messages in the middle of the night, like they'll wake up at the same time every
Mhm.
night. And I was the same way, and I tried to trick myself. So I would just, write it down, and what I was thinking about, what I was dreaming about during a day. Maybe I was having a conversation about a certain person, or maybe a future event, or my path of direction. And it's funny, you would see then how they continue to come up. Like, we know that fives and 555 is a significant number to change, right? Ones are significant numbers to new beginnings. And there's, each numbers have certain things. So when you see fives, if you're, say, you're talking about, hey, I'm thinking about going to Texas, and then in the next couple of minutes, you just happen to look and you see fives. That would be an indicator to you that there's a
Mhm.
change coming, right? And maybe that you're creating that change, or that's just a signal to you that the change is to be manifested.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I'll notice whenever I'll get certain synchronicities that come in. Um, like when I start to fall out of alignment, and I start to like gets super hard on myself, or just thinking extremely negative, like just thinking negative thoughts or having negative emotions or anything like that. Boom, that's when that synchronicity comes in. It's like, yeah, I remember now. And then
Yeah, they could be like a little
boom.
pat on the shoulders, let you know that you're doing the right thing, or just a little support, let you know that they're there.
Yeah, and you get the little grin, you're like, thanks for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Jake, is there any of that you want to add on to that?
Well, yeah, like I was gonna add like the synchronicities and whatnot are literally like it's literally the coding of our like reality and whatnot. So like as Rome said, like writing them down is like that's literally like cheat coding your way. I feel like to a fulfilling life and being divinely guided, sort of.
Yeah,
And
they help you navigate
yeah,
this world, this life
exactly.
so much better, like so much easier.
It seems like those are just the beginning, though, because as your awakening continues, you start to be more aware of other things.
Mhm.
Your your vision becomes different. Your perception is more acute, right? For me, watching numbers or seeing numbers was almost secondary after a while. I would just pick them up in my, peripheral, and I would just log them down mentally. But there was other things as well. Um, a lot of people that go through an awakening will see shadows in their peripheral, where they think they see, an image of a human or somebody, but
Mhm.
they're not there. Um, your perception gets acute to energies around other people. We talked about that before, but energies in like houses or buildings or in areas or in crowds. There's other perceptions as you awaken that definitely come to the forefront. They become more active.
Definitely way more conscious.
Say that again. Your mic was a little.
Oh, my bad. You're definitely way more conscious of things. Like you'll notice like synchronicities, just like not even like numbers, but you'll notice like events start to align and any other aspects of your life, sort of. It's not just numbers. There's a lot of other synchronicities happening in my life as well, and your lives as well.
And your intuition gets turned on. So that's a part of it. Perception. We've all gone through that part where you think of somebody and all of a sudden they call you, or you're just about ready to message somebody and they call you. Those kind of intuitions and perceptions, you feel that energy coming. That's a part of it as well. So there's many different ways, and I think different steps that it gets.
Oh, definitely. Also, like audience too. Like hearing different things or hearing sounds that aren't really there or
just tones.
Tones.
Or your ears ringing.
Ears ringing, things like that. And like I'll get little signs, like little messages, like little just like one worded things, just like nice or like good or like something like that whenever I'm in a task. And like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Sonny, and here's the thing, and Jake mentioned like tones, and for most of the muggles, they just go through their life. It's just a tone. Oh, it's tinnitus or whatever. But when you become more aware of things that are around you and your perception is more acute, when you hear a tone, when you see a number, when there's a feather in front of you, you are more mindful to stop and just take note of what's happening in your life. What is going on? Because when I hear like a tone in my ear, I stop. I mean, I really just like I pause whatever I'm doing, and I'm just be mindful that there's a message coming to me, right? So it's just to be open to that message.
Yeah. So yeah, especially like getting to stop what you're doing, because I don't get it. I don't get a tone in my ear like like a lot. Not It's definitely not an everyday occurrence. When I do get it, I'm like, oh shit, like okay.
Yeah.
My ears.
Then the goosebumps will come in, and then
the goosebumps are a big indicator. Yeah, when your hair stands up.
For real. Yeah. I went through a long phase of the numbers and the other indicators coming through in this kind of way. Like my perceptions just went off the charts. It was almost like I had a Kundalini, so it just was like a light switch. Boom. So for a period of 2 to 3 months, it was exciting. It was new, but everything was enhanced, and it was overwhelming a little bit. And it took me a little while to get used to it and to understand it more, because it was just, at first it just keeps coming. You just can't stop it. You get all these things that are happening to you, all different things are happening all at once, right? Your emotions.
Yeah, did you feel like you were like kind of like all over the place and super spread out thin?
My emotions were all over the place. My energies were all over the place. I was like in and out of relations with friends, coming and going and doing things and not doing things. And my creativity was all over the place. It was hard to focus on regular day life activities, and it was just overwhelming for a little while. And then it settled down.
What did you do to help integrate into it?
Well, I dove into a lot of research and understanding about what it all was meant to. I put a lot of time into meditation, right? Got with some of the people that I was in the circles with at the time, and followed what they were doing. But meditation really did a lot of the help. and sit with myself and just allowing the process to be, and allowing all of these sensories to come and go naturally, not to fight it, but just kind of let it flow. And eventually, I got to the point, or myself got to the point where I was accepting of it, and then it just became a lot easier to manage and to deal with on a regular basis. It's still there, but now it seems just like anything else that's new, it's hard to control. I kind of explain it like riding a horse for the first time. I mean, it's a big horse and it's powerful and it can do a lot of things, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be all over the place, and it's going to just go wherever it wants to, and it's going to be hard to control it, and it's going to do what it likes. And but after you get used to it and you go through the growing pains and the aches and pains, holding on to the horse and all that, finally you get your strength and your mental strength and your capacity of everything around you.
What does awakening your Kundalini feel like?
What was that?
What does awakening your Kundalini feel like?
Well, Jake, as far as I know, it's different for everybody. For me, it was the classic dual snake up the spine, hissing, electric, lightning bolt. And then it was my hair was on fire. Right. I mean, it just was.
Did it just happen to you randomly, or did it happen when you were in meditation?
It happened during meditation. Yeah, I was going through a sequence of just small awakening events and indicators. And I start developing my meditations on a regular basis, especially in the mornings. And I changed my diet and I hydrated a lot. I mean, I really dove into it. That's the way I was guided, to clean your diet, to clean your health as much as possible to get the most benefit. And when I optimized that and I was doing meditations on a regular basis, I think it's just like I was able to just turn the radio dial, tune it in just right, and then it just.
When your vehicle got cleaned out, there's that energy was able to come in. Yeah,
I believe that's the case, because we're all just beacons, right? We're all just radio, and we're just a little transistor, and if you can't get that transmission, there's something about you that's not aligned. And for me, it was health, and it was my chakras, and so I worked very hard at it. At the same time, I was just like going crazy with it and not understanding a lot of it. There was a big shift. This was, 6 years ago, or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 years ago. Wow. So there was a big shift for a lot of people then. And so there was a bunch of us not knowing what was going on. But a lot of us have gone through it now, know what to experience. But back then, we didn't have any idea what was going on. So all the research was just on the social media and anything you can find on the internet that was, resonated with you, and just go with it.
Yeah, so social media was a big influencer for me whenever I was first experiencing all and getting all these different seeing all these synchronicities and stuff. I was like, what the fuck does this mean? and then the stuff just started manifesting onto my feed, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let's have a look at this. And then now we're here. But another one of the perceptions that we haven't talked about is I guess this would just be called intuition, but just knowing whenever people are not being entirely truthful to you, and whenever there's lies, there's lies and what's the word? Manipulation or things like that. You could just pick that up right away.
You're talking about your empathic.
Yeah.
Your empathic talents, your skill starts coming through with that. Everybody's empathic. When you get more in tune with yourself, that comes more naturist to you. It's confusing at first because you don't know what you're feeling is you, or how do I know this? How do I feel this? Right? It's like a deep sense of understanding, a certainty, like you've done it before. I know that. I know that to be true. But you have no idea. How do I know that? Yeah, and that's probably one of the first ones. You can tell when someone's bullshitting you. You could you could see them, it can be hard for people that goes through those awakenings, that part, your empathic part.
Yeah, definitely. And then you can you'll see things like around you, like even like people that you thought you were friends. They're like, nah, are these people really my friends? Like, are they really my friends? And then yeah, that gets tough.
The empathic skill is huge. There's so many different layers, right? There's the exchange of energy, there's the feeling of other energy, there's mirroring energy, there is sensing of someone's understanding, there's a sensing of someone's truth, right? It's all about reflection and conjoining of energy. But to be able to tune into other people like that, that's a skill. I mean, it's just like anything else. You got to work at it. It's like just push-ups. There's so many different layers to it. But when it starts and it starts hitting you and you don't know what's going on, it could be so confusing.
Yeah, especially if you don't have any like prior knowledge of what it actually is.
Well,
in most
cases, what most people do, they just retreat. They just lacrosse into themselves, or they hibernate away from their friends until they get a handle on it. Because when you start feeling these things from people that are in your circle, it's very unstabilizing.
That's what I did when I was first going through that stuff.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I didn't want to be around. I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to be around anybody. Even though I love people, I love like being with my friends and other people and stuff. I love giving people like stepping people up, and like giving the fist pumps, just being in everybody's presence. But during that time I didn't want to be with anybody.
What about you, Jake?
I can definitely say the same. Like, I think you started to realize kind of like who puts good energy towards you and who tries to manipulate your energy and kind of steal your energy, kind of like an energy vampire or whatnot. And so I think, like Sonny, going back to what Sonny said, yeah, sometimes it's better to be alone than be surrounded by one, fake friends, or two, people who's stealing your energy and not putting forth their front foot and trying to kind of give you positive vibes instead of taking from you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Totally, man. So we got a question in the chat. Does the idea of raising your vibration factor in the fact that the world needs a radical change that allows for everyone's basic needs to be met before everyone can raise their own vibration?
I think the change is already happening.
Yeah, raising your own individual vibration has an extremely large impact on the planet, more than you can more than you actually realize. And I forget this all the time. I forget that the impact that raising my own vibration and clearing out all the junk and all the past traumas and generational traumas and things like that has a profound impact on the planet, because you're literally healing your DNA. Think about that. That's an amazing thing. And then you can then pass this DNA on to the next lineage and so on and so forth. And by also cleaning up your DNA and cleaning up yourself and raising your vibration, you're having an effect on the people around you. And they're obviously going to pick up on this, and it'll naturally cause them to almost raise their vibration as well, and they'll become more aware of all the things that they got to clean up and things like that. That light kind of shines onto that.
That's very true. Energy pushes out and attracts other energy. So yeah, you can raise your vibration. You are changing your energy that's in your flow. So you're unable to receive and attract different energies, right? So that's why you start going through these metamorphoses, and you start going through these awakening indicators. You start feeling these things. That is the change. It's already happening. It's a matter of you managing the change that you're experiencing.
Yes, and integrating with the change, and allowing yourself to flow with the change that's coming and
Absolutely.
happening.
Absolutely. It's interesting that we talk about the enhanced perceptions, and it's I think it's fundamentally, for me, it was the time where I realized that there was a deep acknowledgement that there was another realm, that there were guides, that there were ancestors, that the ones that I loved that had passed are now with me on the other side. It was just too many coincidences, too many times that I was in contemplation about somebody, and then a synchronicity would happen, or it just came so strong and relative to me that at that time, that those layers are around us all the time. And before then, I guess I just took it for granted. I just didn't think enough to be mindful about it. But perception had changed.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with that. Is that extra perception, it reinforced that fact for me that there's other dimensions, other realms out there other than what's in front of us now, and just picking up and having a perception, just picking up on the extraordinary things, like that doesn't feel from Earth, like that's not Earth, like, like. So
yeah, can you imagine all of a sudden you just like that, a switch, and then all of a sudden you're awake and try to conceive everything that you're experiencing? And I think the way that the indicators are like trickled into you, like the numbers and different things happen to you on a slow progression, is just strong enough for you to understand and strong enough for you to get to it. It's like a course. You get through the course, you can go through the course, you get to the next course, and then you can advance.
Build the courses for the people.
Right.
Yeah, the awakening indicator, it just puts you, like, as soon as you're ready, as soon as you understand and embody that one indicator, boom, you hit with the next.
Right. They line it up for you just enough for you to understand it.
Yep. And that's and for in the order and whatever is made for your being, like how you are as a person and your DNA, there's so many different factors into it, and your personality and such, and
perfect for your path that you're on.
So you're literally perfect, and it's completely aligned. So any indicators like that, anything, it could seem overwhelming at the time, but it's perfect for your personality and your entire life. It's all planned. It's all been planned for you. It's pretty sweet.
Oh.
So does anybody else have anything to add on to that?
Oh, covered.
I think mainly just becoming like more like a vast higher perception of things is just really focusing on where your energy spent goes throughout the day, whether that is putting it towards research or something that's going to better yourself, like looking at like reading a book, or investing in crypto, or any aspect that you can better yourself in. I think that's good and that's positive. But there's also people who are sitting around wasting their energy, like not just doing whatever, just nonchalantly kind of. So I think the main thing about like awakening is like putting your energy where it needs to go, and actually understanding and letting your energy flow naturally.
Of course, man. Yeah, awakening. It can be very tough, but that's what we're all here for, and that's what a group of like-minded individuals. It's so important to have a group of like-minded individuals around you. It helps a lot whenever you're going through that awakening process.
Most
Get
definitely.
together.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
it's because they can they're able to see it from an outside perspective. They're able to see what you're going through and from a third another point of view, and it can be super hard to be able to see that whenever you're down in the trenches. They have more of a bird's eye view, which is pretty sweet. So if you haven't already, to anybody watching this, join us on our Discord and Telegram communities. We're having a great time over in the New Earth chats. And also make sure to follow us, subscribe to all of our other social medias. You can find it down in the description down below. Love to have you there. So is there anything else you guys want to mention on enhanced perception or anything like that before we get into this meditation?
I'm excited for the meeting.
Yeah, I'm excited to meditate too. Let's go. All right, let's see if there's any comments real quick. Any questions before we go? All right, cool. All right. For those of you in the audience, feel free to join us on this little meditation. So this meditation, we've been doing it every single week for past month and a half or so on it's a very specific meditation of envisioning the new earth, and the goal of it is to envision the new earth and to ground that vision, ground that vibration onto Mother Gaia, and to help bring about change to planet Earth. So let's get right into it. Take a deep breath, sigh, big sigh, relax your feet, your toes, arms, shoulders. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. As each breath you take, feel your body, mind relaxing more and more. Allow yourself to fall into a deep state of relaxation. Try imagining yourself sitting on a beach, waves slowly crashing. Now I would like for you to take notice to all the different chakra points throughout your entire body, starting with your crown. Going down to your third eye, into the throat chakra, down to the heart. Down to the solar plexus, into your sacral, down through your root. Take notice of the powerful energy that is coursing through your body, connecting all of your chakras together. Now imagine rod of energy going all the way through the cosmos, down through all your chakra points. And into the earth. Feel the rod of energy going throughout your entire being. Down through your root and into the earth. Feel yourself becoming more and more connected with Gaia. Allow yourself to let go of anything, anxiety, or situation bothering you. Send it down the energetic rod, down into earth. Sky will cleanse this for you and send back love towards you and understanding. Now, imagine what you see when you hear the words New Earth. How does New Earth make you feel? Imagine a loving society coming together in service of each other. Imagine hugging your soul family, hugging guides, those that you love. Now hold that vision of what you see for New Earth. Pay attention to the emotion that that vision produces for you. Feel that emotion going throughout your whole body and into the earth. When you feel called to, slowly move your toes, fingers, your shoulders a little bit. When you feel comfortable, open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you for joining in on the meditation, everyone. And
Oh, that was great.
if you're still here till the end, thank you for listening to the whole live stream all the way through. Super appreciated. And if you haven't already, join us in our Discord, Telegram channels, and also follow us on all social media platforms. We're really having a great time, and you can find that over in the description down below or on newearthproject.info. We'll see you there. Peace.